right. Hey everybody. I think we are kind of a little bit of go time here. All right. Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. I saw some really funny memes out there saying, remember we used to have underwear with the days of the week on them? I might need a little bit of a reminder on that. I hope that everyone is well and healthy and embracing the day. I'm Belinda. I'm with Just Be Yoga. We're here at the studio and our friendly neighborhood train is going through. Can you hear it? There you go. Helping us stay focused on our practice and present. I love feeling the energy of those who might be on the train if it's from Amtrak and where they're traveling to, and just knowing that travels and energy from afar get to come through and we get to send our energy with it. All right, so this morning, a home yoga practice. How's everyone feeling? What are they needing? I'm going to check in and see what anyone needs on the Book of Face. If there's any contributions going on here. Not seeing any contributions. So we are going to get started this morning. I think that I really just want to, for my own practice, kind of work the cobwebs out of my body. So I just want to start standing, feeling my mountain. My legs could be as far apart as I like or as close together as I like. Feel out equilibrium, checking in on my hips. Been doing a lot of walking. Actually been doing a lot of driving over the last few days. Had to go pick up some equipment. All right, I'm going to lengthen upward. Feel my body carrying my spirit. Flip those palms, gentle waking up, and gentle waking up, and up. And how about a twist, bringing it out? Hope everybody is sharing their practice with their family or their pets. And maybe you just need some you time, right? I know some of you have some pretty crowded households. And then we'll let that go. I'm going to lightly bend my knees and let my upper body hang. Turn for a sideways profile here. Grabbing opposite elbows, allowing that upper body to hang. Shifting forward and back in those feet. So this is me introducing developing a home yoga practice. So I'm feeling out standing, so I'm just lightly bending my knees and swaying a little side to side. Remember that yoga means to create a connection, a yoking. So I'm feeling my tissues, I'm feeling my bones, seeing how much I can allow my body to yield to gravity, and then releasing the arms and gradually rolling the spine back upright. And I'll find an interlace here. Remember that we could always just use a strap or a belt or a tie. Light bend in the knees and open the collarbones. And I'm just going to roll those collarbones open. Send those wrists down. Feeling the shoulder blades coming down. Sending the hips forward. And then upward energy through my chest cavity, through the breastbone. Lifting the upper body off the bottom body. I don't want to feel my low back crunching. Bringing some mindful care and attention and being willing to breathe in this completely open chest and belly space. And now I'm going to let my upper body come forward. So could you do that deeper? Sure you could. Could you do this deeper? Sure you could. And I'm not going to say whether you should or whether you shouldn't. So we're all exploring. Where are we in the present moment? Are we spending more time in our desire space rather than our acceptance space? And are we accepting what is possible and what we're capable of in this moment? And what does our spirit need? What does our body need? And I'm going to let that go and roll the spine up, working out the shoulders. Saying hello. I've been carrying gear, been walking the dog, and she has been loving lunging after geese. So suddenly a 45-pound dog has a lot of pressure. We'll rotate, rotate, rotate. Neck. Breathing here, maybe letting my eyes remain closed, changing direction. Feeling each vertebra in my neck, trying to connect and have a relationship with it. If you've been practicing a lot more, are you noticing areas of the body that are responding and really willing to move? Or maybe we've been overworking them and they're saying, hey, I really want to slow down. You're building that inner gaze, that inner awareness. I'm going to take this left arm across, hooking under it, pulling that left shoulder down, and then gently twisting to the right. Now notice my hips. I'm going to let them carry. Right there, if I really root my feet down, I could be putting a lot of stress in the ligaments of my knees. So I'm going to keep my hips forward, bend the knees a little, and twist, but try to keep the hip bones aiming to the camera. Breath. And then how much energy could I lift in my chest upward? My face is soft, my throat is soft, accepting where I am. And releasing. I like to shake things out. An element of my Qigong practices and Tai Chi practices. Move that energy. Shake it out. And then we'll bring this across, hooking under, feeling this other side. You could just hold the back of that shoulder. All this hooking business gives you a little bit more leverage, but don't put any pressure on this elbow joint, all right? And again, starting to bring awareness. Am I in my desire space? Or I'm in an acceptance space. Accepting all of the tension behind this shoulder, twisting, hips forward, filling up my belly with breath. And what can I experience as a physical body being? Am I forcing or am I letting go? Am I practicing connection in my yoga? Or am I punishing myself? And then release, shaking that out. All right, I'm just gonna stand, feel my hips in a non-weight bearing manner, so there's no weight on this hip. This leg, of course, is offering me a little standing. I just wanna feel some support, feel my rootedness in this standing leg. Let that go, shake that foot out, yay. All right, I'm gonna do the other side, feeling where I am. Comfortable seat in my body, comfortable steadiness. Practicing our asana, comfortable seat, sthira sukha, ease and steadiness. Not in a rush, I'm being present. All right, I'm going to move through a rather simple sun salutation. Greeting this day, thanking this globe that's turning, thanking this globe that's going around this beautiful sun, recognizing that we're a part of cycles, cycles in the universe, cycles on the planet. All right, so it's a really simple one that we're going to start with. My feet are going to be a little wide. I'm going to feel out my feet, noticing where my weight is in each foot. Standing in my mountain, representative of firmament, standing in the footsteps of my ancestors. That's what I conjure when I think about feeling rooted, feeling solid. Breathing in, reaching upward to the heavens, connecting my earth with my heavens, recognizing that I, as a human being, am a part of the earth, but I'm also spirit. Exhale, hinging forward, lightly bending the knees, bowing in reverence. Breathing in, pulling the spine, lengthening forward. When I make space in my spine, I like to make space for energy. And then placing the hands down, and step the left leg back and bring the right knee back. Lean forward, chest over thumbs, elbows shaving against the ribs, breathing out as I lower. I'm going to try to really soften and receive my contact with the earth. Breath in as I lift, keeping my elbows bent for a cobra, relaxing my backside. Exhale as I come to hands and knees, spreading my palms really wide, accepting and widening my base, my awareness of connection with the earth, feeling my toes, tucking them under. And then I check in and see if my arms, my legs, and my core are ready to support my weight in a different way as I start to straighten the legs, lift the butt up, letting my head go. Spreading my toes, building my awareness of my feet, accepting this job, this role. My ankles, maybe coming up onto the tippy toes, pressing the heels back, building that awareness. Are there sections of the backs of my calves and Achilles tendon that I would like to feel? I could bring the shoulders up by my ears and slide it down and bring it up and slide it down. Awareness, that's all I'm building. Feeling the strength part in my belly pulling me up. Letting the upper body hang, trusting the support. Breath in, and I'll bring my left knee down. Step the right foot up. You could swing that out wide and then grab it and bring it up there, all right? Sometimes we have flesh in between in our belly that the knee smashes up against, or our hip isn't feeling that strong, and then we'll step the other leg up. And let's see about making our way through and connect a little bit of breath and dedication into this practice. Breath in and lengthen, softness. Exhale, allowing the upper body to roll down. Roll the spine up, patient. Feel your entire back of your spine, shoulders down. Breathing in, reaching up to the heavens, to the sun. Exhale, bowing down into your practice. Breath in, lifting your chest. I'm going to step the right leg back, trying to bring mindfulness to balance. Stepping the other knee back. You might need to walk those knees back a bit. Some of you want to find extended plank, tucking the toes, hugging the core. Neither is a should space, so feel out what you can sustain. Exhale, lower through. We're offering our body and our spirit to practice. Breath in and lift. We're not here to hurt ourselves or perform. Exhale, hands and knees. Tuck the toes, butt goes up, down dog, big breath. Sigh it out. Open the jaw, protrude the tongue, check the shoulders. Feel out what you want to explore. I love feeling out the sides of my ribs. Breath in, tilting the tailbone up a bit, right knee coming down, left leg stepping up, maybe wide, bringing the back leg up. Breath in, lengthen and pull the spine up. Go ahead and soften the knees. It'll take the load off of the low back here. Exhale, allow the upper body to hang, rolling the spine upward, lifting your head last. Breathe in, lift through the waist, not through the shoulders. Exhale, forward fold. We explore what's possible. Where can we lift from? Breathe in and lift through the sides of the ribs and the waist here. Exhaling, we'll bring that right knee down or just step all the way back. Just depends on your hips. You can get a little lunge here as you do that. And step the other leg back. Breath in, feeling this hold. Breath out, breath in. Breath out. And as this fire builds, I like to feel that I'm facing the earth, having my molten core get a little warmer, and having it face the molten core of this globe, feeling that connection. And then maybe your knees come down, elbows shaving the ribs, lowering it down. Good. Breath in, lift the heart. How much space will our heart offer willingly? Exhale to downward facing dog. Now I've been giving a knee down transition. If you don't need it or you feel like you're ready to start to explore a little bit more in the strength as well as the flexibility of the hip, all right? We can bring the right knee to the chest into the plank and then step the foot through. So again, depending on how much tummy we have, that could be a little bit of something we have to navigate, swinging that leg out. Wow, that's a lot of core work that we're doing in that plank to bring this leg up, and then we'll step the other leg up. When you did all that, ask, did you breathe while you did that? Breath in, lift. Breath out, let it go. Good, let's roll the spine up. Breathe in and lift, shoulders down, push the legs down. Now, I'm going to show a straight line forward, pulling chin and chest forward, as though someone's got a hold of my arms and they're pulling them down and forward. So you could come up the same way. It's going to hold the back and the core a little bit more accountable. Legs are straight and we lift straight up. You're going to feel the difference in that core work. Exhale, take it forward. If your low back hurts at all, go back to rounding your way up. One more time. Breath in, push the legs down. Feel the work of that leveraging, soften the shoulders. Exhale, taking it forward, letting that upper body let go. Now I'm going to switch it out. I'm going to step my left leg back, finding that lunge. Again, you can bring that knee down. Oh, sorry, I'm going to switch that, taking the right leg back. All right. Now, hands are down, and we're going to step that leg back for the plank. Or you could have brought the knees down. So choose, breath in. Now, here's a little space that I like to call it. It's a drive-by moment. We have multiple drive-by moments in a lot of yoga, especially vinyasa yoga. So here's a little bit of not driving by, right? Chaturanga, elbow height, bringing it back up, and it's all right to go hoo doggy or some other choice words. Breath in, exhale, lower, and at least feel the space as you come through it. Breath in, lift, offer the heart, soften the butt, relax the chin and the neck. A lot of times we're craning that throat. Kind of keep that chin down. Exhale, come to the knees. Let's find a downward facing dog. Now maybe you want to pedal those heels. My body's starting to feel a little bit more warmed up. Breathe in, look forward and make a choice about how you bring your legs up to the top of your mat. Your practice. Breath in, lift the chest. Breath out, let it go. We'll bend the knees. If the feet are together, knees stay together. Pull the butt back. Lift the chest. Hands could be at your hips. Hands could be at prayer. Maybe your arms are extending. So now feet are apart, knees are apart. Try not to let the knees buckle in so that we'll protect the ligaments of the inner knee, okay? So you can brace, clamping them together, or a little bit of space, weights even in the feet. Check in with your faces. Good, we're going to come up to standing. I'm just going to modify this a bit, all right? Instead of coming through another one of those push-up kind of sequences, we're just going to step back, all right? So I'm going to turn here. We're going to step the left leg back. Now you can take as many secure steps as you like. Your back foot is flat, so I've stepped my left leg back, aiming my left toes to the front left corner of my mat. Bending this right knee, and I get to feel my hips out. I'm just saying good morning. Noticing how much pressure is in the sole of my left foot. And I'm just going to say balance that out. Are there sections of the foot that are not anchoring you? And could you wake them up? Are there sections that are doing most of the work? Feel that out. Spread your toes. Sink in the hips. And lifting. Lifting from the lowest part of the belly. Shoulders down. Right hip back just so slightly. And where's the peace? Where's the fight that's going on inside of us? Does it need to be going on? Where's the ease and the steadiness? Stira Sukha. I'm feeling like a stretch here. Sorry, a twist here. So you could bring your left hand to the floor or your block. My block is ill-positioned for my grabbing it right now. So you could bring it right here. But some of you might want to start exploring having a bind in the twist, all right? So you could start by twisting the belly first and then crossing that arm across that knee to see if that elbow will come outside of that thigh. Some like to work a little bit of core and lengthen first, then project this armpit, twisting it to bring the back of that tricep, that elbow outside, both palms here, twisting. Remember, this hand could be right here. Full satisfaction. Doesn't have to be a fight. Pull that right hip back. There's enough going on, right? There's enough going on. We don't need to add to our struggle. Lengthening the spine, make space. Where could you uncrunch something in your body? Unseize something in your thoughts. Loosen something in your spine. Go with the flow. Good. I'm going to release the twist and step the back leg up. Bend the knees, sink the butt back, lift the chest chin. Now that leg is already talking, right? And you say, thank you for your service. Thank you for showing me how you support me. And coming back up. I think I want to stretch some things out. There's a lot of compression and tension in the holding of binds. So I'm going to find the strap again, or an interlace. Open up this chest. As I said, I've been carrying a lot of gear, so it's nice to kind of feel, taking that weight out, making space. Hips forward, chest up. Make room for breath. I'm coming forward. What's the balance in how my legs are holding me? What's the balance in how my spine is letting go? What's the balance in allowing a quiet thought space? If you find your mind still wants to wander, just focus on your breath. Just follow the inhale, follow the exhale, letting the arms go when we're ready, and rolling the spine up. Maybe you wanted to practice coming up with that nice straight spine. Take a moment and pause, still the waters, and then feel the energy and the weight shift into the left leg as we step back. Now, I showed before that you could take a few steps, but if you want to play with your balance, you could lift and say, I want to step back. And see how much you can hold your rootedness and remain fluid on one leg. Just play, right? It's all play and exploration. Playfulness. Find some joy in the gift of life that we have in this moment. Everything doesn't have to be some exam, some giant test. Maybe the test is, how light can you be? How lighthearted can you be? Laugh at ourselves. Find a place of play. Breath, lifting, working the tailbone, the low back. Noticing when I curve my tailbone under, wow, I really feel that stretch through the front of that thigh there in my psoas. Now I'm going to come on for that twist again. Once again, that hand could be down here, either to a block or the floor. I am going to try to balance some things out by having a fully bound twist here, revolving the rib cage. I like to check in with my base and see how are my feet, my toes, my ankles supporting this space. Are they struggling? Is the amount of pressure in my twist knocking off my foundation? How much breath am I facilitating in my mid-back at that tension point of the twist? Am I lengthening my spine, or am I crunching in it, grinning and bearing it, right? I don't want to grin and bear my practice. And then I'll bring the hands down, bringing the back knee down, stepping that other knee back, getting ready for a child's pose. I'm going to widen my knees and sink the hips back. I'm going to move my mat a little bit closer. I'm going to practice rabbit, stretching out my upper back and neck. I think that it's safer than plow and gets a little bit of that same kind of area to lengthen out. Building the awareness, I don't even think anymore about how much space I want to create. I think about how much tension am I trying to release, and I feel when I put that tension there, and work on trying not to reaccumulate. All right, I'll grab my ankles, bringing my head as close to my knees as possible. Sometimes you may want to block maybe a pillow, because if folding forward, if we have belly or flesh in our way, this might be as far as we go, all right? So you might want to bring the block here because your head could rest there instead of trying to say, how do I get my head all the way there, all right? So I'm going to use the block as a demo. I'm bringing my head here, grabbing my ankles and my heels. I'm going to bring the very top of my head onto the block and lift my hips. Rolling the shoulders up. Breath in, breath out. Pull the shoulders up so you feel that stretch in the back of the neck, and release. Now another reality of upside down space, especially for those who have mammary glands or who have abundance of body, is that shelf of flesh can start to create like all that smotherage, but I can't breathe. All right, so if you come to our 2XL class, and I thank my friend Anna Gazagelli in my training of my curvy friendly yoga training of what I call the boob strap. All right, so this is, I would say a strap is probably more appropriate than a belt. So a strap, bringing it around, and we're going to thread the strap through both rings and then back around through one. I'm going to cinch that above the shelf, right? So I like to call it an overwire instead of the underwire, so that when I'm upside down, this is shoving these up and away from my head. All right, so I'm going to turn this way. You can tuck this if you like. I'm just moving it for space and time, just flipping it out of the way. So now I'm going to bring the top of my head to the mat, and I'm going to lift up onto the top of the head, pulling the shoulders back, but I have a lot more clearance to breathe. Stretching out the back of the neck. And release, coming back up. Nice stretch here. All right, so since I've got this boob strap, I'm like, why should I waste it? I'm just going to use it while I've got it. And I'm going to do a downward facing dog, and we can feel that away from us. Try not to cinch it so tight that you can't take a nice deep breath. So I can expand. And if I feel like the strap is tightening that breath, I'll loosen that up, all right? So a downward dog, palms a little bit wider than shoulder width, tucking the toes, dropping the head down, and then maybe walk those feet back. Maybe walk the feet out wide and kick the heels out and feel the low back. And then let the head hang. Hopefully your chin is cleared of that strap. Sliding the shoulders away from your ears. How much could you let your head freely hang? Let it rest from that stretch we had in the rabbit. Downward facing dog is a wonderfully restorative space. We get to have our head beneath our heart. Our hips are lifted, get to work the hips, the hamstrings, a little bit of core, a little bit of traction in our neck. And then we'll allow ourselves to come down. All right, so I'm going to take myself out of my little shop of horrors here. So it's yet another, I guess, example of how a strap can be really beneficial to have. So I don't know, I mean, this certainly isn't considered essential, but maybe it's worth an Amazon click or even maybe a Facebook Marketplace click to see if you can get a strap. All right, I'm gonna pull the flesh out from under me. My spine's feeling a little bit better. Shaking those legs, pointing and flexing. How about a back? You can see pointing and flexing. You could trust that I was pointing and flexing. Yes, I'm being neurotic here and I'm looking at the lines because I'm that way. If I have a pinch of OCD, it's like, oh, the mat line has to line up with the wood. All right, hey, I'm practicing my humanity, not a perfect. Let's flex the toes, lift the chest, shoulders down, exhale it forward, and roll it up. So I really like to, in my own practice and in how I teach a lot, to be dynamic to start, fluidly, rolling, just seeing what wants to move, what wants to respond in my spine. So my very lowest part of my spine is feeling, shall we say, a little resistant. My upper chest is feeling a little bit more free. Makes a little sense. We did some of that rabbit space in those down dogs. But my hips are feeling a lot tight. And I told you I was driving. So, I've done maybe about 6 hours of driving in the last 24 hours. And now a little static. So dynamic is that fluid flow. Static, holding this space. Try not to yank with those arms here. So I'm just going to let the shoulders relax. Lengthen the back of my neck. And feel my breath. Letting my belly expand up against the thighs, massaging my organs. My morning practice, just as it is now, is my innards are about as empty as they can be without having fasted. So I just haven't had any solid food yet. And that's generally my daily way of being. I will have my tea, some coffee in my tea, some water, hot water with lemon, my vitamins and supplements. I will have sat in my meditation. And then moving the body without any solid substance in my organs, feeling how they're functioning right now and letting that compression go with that breath and that folding in without much gunk going on inside of there. All right, so this morning, and this one isn't going to be as accessible. I think I'm starting to hit up against some time elements, and I definitely need some pigeon space. I told you about my hips. Now, pigeon is going to be contraindicated a lot for knees and hips. So if you've had some knee replacements, I'm about to go into a double pigeon, and that may not be a space for you. If you want to find a solitary pigeon, you can bend that knee and turn yourself to one side. You could even have this back leg bent and come forward, maybe laying on a pillow. But I'm going to go into a double pigeon space for myself, all right? So I'm going to bend this left leg. I'm going to use this edge of my mat to kind of keep that shin parallel with that, use it as a guide. Now I'm going to bring my right ankle, this nice little bony part here, and bring it into the teardrop of that left knee muscle. So knee over ankle, ankle over knee. Feeling those hips, they're already going, they're talking to me, me. Lifting my chest. I'm gonna work the neck while I'm here. Letting the weight of the arm rest. Start to quiet the thoughts again. And then I'm going to bring the chin down, hands behind, pressing down ever so lightly, pulling up with the head. And now over to the other side. And then I'll come back up and I'm going to some of y'all know, I've been calling this angry bird pose for forever. All right, so this is my double pigeon, right? So I've got my right leg on top. I'm going to bring my right arm under, left arm over. Maybe it's a bear hug. Actually, I'm going to go for the hug today. I'm going to bring to mind people that I can't wait to hug and embrace, and so I'm just hugging them right now. Hugging up on my brother right now. Hugging up on some of my friends who mean so much to me. Hugging up on some family in DC. What up, DC? And then lift the elbows and fold into that hug. So I've got my eagle arms up and over my double pigeon. Yeah, I almost lost my train of thought, but I did not. Angry bird. Here we go. So, I got my eagle up and over that double pigeon. If you want that sound effect, you can do it yourself, right? I think it's ha 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 ha. Fill up with breath. Let go of fighting against feeling. Invite feeling without fear. Even allowing ourselves to feel the fear. Let the vibrations, those ripples, freely flow. Not get trapped inside of us. There are some realities, right? We are but mortal beings, and many of us are confronting a lot about that mortality and the lack of control that we've always been living in. We've just had all of these buffers that we've manufactured that make us feel safe against some inevitabilities. And those inevitabilities are, we are not in control. And we are finite beings. We are finite in our physicality, infinite spirit. So I like to say that my asana practice, I'm going to flip it out, my asana practice helps me connect with, can I make more room in this finite vessel for this amazing infinite spirit inside of here? So my infinite spirit is ready to permeate beyond these borders, beyond this boundary, that it feels free and it knows it has more potential than this encasement allows. I'm going to bring the left under, right over. Breath. And allow myself to come up and over, releasing my spine, unclenching in the pelvis. Oftentimes I notice that I'm kind of squeezing or clenching in my pelvis and my groin. Letting that air seep into the crevices that I've untightened. And I'll let those arms go and come on back up. All right, I'm going to invite us to come to our lying down space, but hopefully you've got a block, and I'm coming over here to check our time. Yeah, we'll do a supported bridge. Feels like a nice, yummy space for us to be in. And then preemptively, if you can clear any space to be able to be near a wall, so that when we close, we can come up against the wall. That'll be great. So go ahead and grab your stuff, your things. Maybe take a sip of some tea or water. I've got my block nearby. I'm going to move the mat once again a little bit closer now to the wall, a little further away from the camera. And lower. Actually, I'm going to use a little bit of core space to mindfully bring myself down. Just a little bit of fire. We were in the chair, and that's a lot of fire here, but not just in the core. And I know we were in those planks. Just a little balance. Feeling that heat, feeling the stimulation, right? Spring, the heat, that energy is thawing out that winter. So I'm thawing out more winter in my own body. Scoop the tailbone under, working it in that space. And gradually, mindfully feeling myself place my body down. I'm going to bring the bottoms of the feet together and allow my knees to fall open. Wow, my hips are so angry. Relaxing the chest, the shoulders. Any space of touch with my hands. I like to be giving some intentional love and gratitude and thanks to this body for holding me together, carrying me about, letting me do my life's work, letting me live my highest being, hanging in there with me when I'm not living my highest being, and that's more often than not. Yeah, those twists have really been coming into me, but as I told you, the hips are also talking. So I wanted to invite for the supported bridge that you could use the block as low as here. You could flip it up even higher. And dare we say, lift it up to this height. Now, a lot of times we coach and see ourselves holding this block under the hips across the hips. I'm going to actually align it lengthwise. A lot more support on the vertebra of the spine. And I just feel like my spine was asking for just a little bit more support. Now, some of y'all know, right? I'm a diminutive human being, so I'm 5 feet tall. So shoot, this block is almost half the length of my spine. So it's a little uncomfortable in my mid-back, the upper edge of the block, but I'll deal. It's fine. It's a level of discomfort, not suffering. And let the body weight sink on the block. Your knees could stay bent. Some of you are exploring lengthening the legs out. If you can, try to keep the legs together, but don't work too much in your groin. Try to let go. Feeling all of that lengthening going on. Now I am going to lift it up another level higher. Okay, now we can all play with this. And guys, your blocks come in different sizes, right? You can have 4-inch blocks, 6-inch blocks, 7-inch blocks. For those home practices, it's really wise to have a couple of different sizes of various props, different lengths, different kinds of material, right? I'm using the super stiff cork. but the foam has a lot of squish. And let my organs expand with breath. Letting lengthening happen without me working for it. Surrendering to gravity is the work. Noticing my mind fight, doing less work. Noticing muscles in my low back have started to seize and clench. So I'm just going to send a loving thought, slight readjustment, shifting some weight. Softening the muscles in my face. I accept this moment. Now my mind gets to be busy right now thinking, oh, should I hurry up? How much time do I have left? Does it really matter? I don't know, Belinda. In the COVID time, does time really matter? I don't know. So then my little busy mind starts going, tra la 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 la, and I say, Thurston, come back here, be right here. And gradually walking the feet in, if those legs are long. Ooh. I'm gonna lift the hips just enough to grab that block and slide it out from under me. I'm gonna invite the knees in toward the chest, giving them a hug. Maybe lift my forehead up to my knees. Your knees could be wide yet again for some tummy space. Sometimes it feels nice just to open up those knees and hips wide any old way. Be aware of pressing your spine into the floor. Nice grounding, firmness. And I'll rock a little, massaging that low back. Good. I'll bring the feet down again, bottoms of the feet together, knees open. Notice how many times in your own mind you're wondering, what should? Fill in the blank. What should I? Fill in the blank. Where are we thinking that we're going to get to? What's unacceptable about this here and now that we're experiencing? And if we fully arrive here, what can we appreciate in this here and now? I'm loving the quiet and noticing how that's helping me quiet my insides by being present with the quiet that's outside. This is enough. I am enough. Good. I'm just going to roll over to one side and get ready to make my way to the wall. All right, so I'm going to come to my red wall and bring my hip up against this wall. I can bring my back back because being on the wood, I'll slide. So I've got my hips up against this wall, got my hands back here for support. Now I'm going to lean back, let the legs go up, and then just turn myself. And then hopefully my butt is up against the wall, because if it isn't, and we're back here, not that that's like entirely back, you could be having some pressure on the backs of those knees, the hips, legs don't feel as supported. So then you gotta do the scooch, right? That reverse laying on your back, break-dancing worm. Now your legs could be bent over a couch, so if you can't have a nice flat wall, that's fine. And I'm going to lift my right leg. I'm going to hold on behind that right hamstring and let my hands slide up there. Point and flex. Pay attention to those feet and ankles, maybe massaging them. Shoulders resting. And then a gentle pull. Squeeze the thigh. Try not to lock your knees. And relax the thighs. Squeeze the thigh. And relax. Pull. Gentle acceptance. Breath. I'm going to keep this leg straight. Got my left hand, right leg, and let it cross over me a bit. Maybe even massaging my right hand along this thigh, along that IT band. Press your spine to the floor. Don't jam, don't force, don't shove. And then relax and let that leg go. Maybe massage it gently. And then I'll find the other leg on its own. See what it's doing. Hey, how you doing, leg? Holding on behind that hamstring. Feeling my spine. Sliding up a bit. And then, point and flex. Wake up that leg. How you doing, leg? Ready for another day, leg. Where are you going to carry me to today, body? Thank my feet. Yeah. All right. And now I'm going to cross on over. Massaging on that IT band. And then I'm going to let that go and bringing that up. Now I'm going to bring the feet to the wall. You could bring it to the sofa as well, to the edge of the sofa. Keep your gaze up to the ceiling. I've got about 3 or 4 inches of space in between my inner thighs. Not going to let the knees splay, feet flat on the floor. So basically we're doing a bridge pose with our back on the floor and our legs on the wall, our feet on the wall. Gaze up, relax your arms. We're going to use the arms to push down, use the feet to push into the wall, and allow the hips to lift. Lift your chin a bit. I'll walk my feet up a little so that I can lift the butt a little bit more. Keep lifting that chin. Try not to let your neck smash against the floor. Keep a little curve under your neck. Now if you like, you could wiggle the shoulders under you and bring your hands to your low back for support. This is where all of us can stay. I am not going to demo, I'm not even going to talk about going any place further. If you know how to go somewhere further on your own, do so at your own risk, at your own house. Breath. Observe your belly. Look at your own flesh. Look at gravity on your own flesh. Notice the thoughts in your mind as you observe your own flesh. I get to confront my own issues with my own body. And then I work on sending some love and say, yeah, but that tummy, man, it's holding all my guts in. Thank you for holding my guts in. I like my guts in and not out. I'm going to release my arms and slowly lower the back down. And let my legs just rest up the wall. A soft give under my knees, arms. Relaxing. And I'm going to take a nice cleansing deep breath in the nose. Out the nose. Allowing for a Shavasana space, a corpse pose, a mindful, wakeful stillness with legs up the wall. Taking the weight off of my legs, kicking my legs up literally. Accepting all of the restoration. Because if I let the body go here, I can't help but feel held. Feel as though I don't have to do anything. It's all taken care of. Turning it over to something greater than ourselves, Ishvara, Pranidhana, a niyama, in the second limb of our yoga. Surrender to something greater than ourselves. It could just be the earth. That's a beautiful thing to surrender to and feel her cycles and feel her tides, feel all of the changes and the unpredictability, and surrender to what the earth has to offer for us. Surrender to being yet a species on this planet, for that is all we are. Not feeling as though we have to master anything, or manipulate or bend the earth to our will. Allowing Shavasana to remind us that we are the ones who surrender to the earth's will. Absorb the beauty of that, the balance in that. And we'll let the knees come in toward the chest, maybe a hug. Maybe some of you would like a happy baby. You could find your feet or behind your knees. Rolling on over onto our side. Eventually coming to a seated space. So I don't always get to do a Shavasana in my home practice. I do a lot of sit meditation in my home practice. And Shavasana is a form of meditation. It allows us to get into Dharana and Dhyana and Samadhi, the last three limbs of yoga. Focus, meditation, and unification. So yeah, I would say that Shavasana would probably have to be a home space that I need to start to develop a little bit more of. I like to do a Shavasana out in the fields lately, at middle of walking the dog or after walking the dog, and just lie out into a field and just feel myself lying on the earth and looking up at the atmosphere and remembering where I am and remembering who I am ultimately. So I bring the Shavasana into my life in different ways, so I offer that as something to reflect upon. Whether we've gotten really super rigid about what our practice looks like, by all means, if you have a set way of practicing on your mat, go ahead and do so. But know that Shavasana, like any asana, can be found where we are, being where we are. Hands to the heart center. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings know happiness and the true causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the true causes of suffering. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Repeating the mantra to let the seeds burrow into us. All that is love and laughter and light inside of me is nothing but a reflection of the love and light and laughter within you, and for that I am truly grateful. Thank you all so much for sharing a home yoga practice live here. I think it was day 10, not sure. Days of the week, man made them up. We can go with the flow. See you around the bend sometime soon, everyone. Namaste.